Good morning, First Baptist. We are going to be doing our devotional on Psalm 19 this morning. Very glad and happy to be with you and excited to be looking at the Psalm with all of you. I trust your week has started off well and that things are going well for you, hoping that they are. And praying for you guys and miss all of you and looking forward to seeing you and being together again very soon. We're going to change pace a little bit here in the Psalms. We're going to go from the salvific Psalms to ones that are revelatory of God and of God's wisdom and His glory and His majesty, and how mankind can experience that glory and what that glory can do to mankind, and then how we should respond to that truth. That's kind of the structure of Psalm 19. You have three different sections. You have the revelation of God's glory in verses 1 through 6. You have how that revelation can impact mankind in verses 7 through 10. And then you have, you have 11 through 14 should be our response to that revelation of the glory of God. So let's take a look at it. Psalm 19, a very important psalm in the Psalter and one that is quoted often in the New Testament. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the sky above proclaims its handiwork. Day to day pours out speech, and night to night reveals knowledge. There is no speech, there are no words, nor are there words, whose voice is not heard. Their voice goes out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. In them he has set a tent for the sun, which comes out like a bridegroom leaving his chamber, and, like a strong man, runs its course with joy. Its rising is from the end of the heavens, and its circuit is to the end of them. There is nothing hidden from its heat. So what is the psalmist doing here? The psalmist is taking a natural occurrence in nature, and he is comparing that to a theological truth. The theological truth is that God's wisdom and knowledge and glory is revealed throughout all of the earth. And there's nothing that he has made known that is not made known through creation. And just like the sun runs its course and rises and from the end of heavens and its circuit to the end of them, just like it covers the whole world with its heat, so also God covers the whole world with his knowledge. There is not, as Paul will say in Romans 1, there is no one who can say that they have an excuse for not walking in the revelation of God's knowledge and the revelation of God's glory. Paul says, look to the heavens, right? The psalmist here says, the heavens declare the glory of God. And this is what it does to people when they have the eyes of faith. Verse 7, the law of the Lord is perfect, and it revives the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. The precepts of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. Sometimes these things can seem to be counteractive, right? We tend to think of God's precepts as something that would bring us unhappiness, but really, when we think about the laws and the rules of God, there's something that should rejoice our heart and bring us joy. The commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. The rules of the Lord are true and righteous altogether. More to be desired are they than gold, even much fine gold, sweeter also than honey, the drippings of the honeycomb. Moreover, that's verse 10. So we'll talk about verse 11 in a second. Okay, so the revelation of verses 1 through 6 is occurring, and the question you have to ask is am I seeing those things? Am I beholding the glory of God in the ways that He is revealing the glory to me? And the question, or the way that you can know if you are or if you are not receiving that revelation or acknowledging that revelation, is do you see the things in verses 7 through 10 the way the psalmist sees them? Do you see the law of the Lord as perfect, something that will revive your soul? Do you see the testimony of the Lord as sure, which makes the simple wise? Do you see the precepts of the Lord as right, something that brings joy to your heart? Do you see the commandment of the Lord as pure, something that will enlighten your eyes? Do you fear the Lord? I see the fear of the Lord as clean, enduring forever. The rules of the Lord are true, the righteous altogether. More to be desired are they than gold, even much fine gold, sweeter also than honey and the drippings of the honeycomb. Do you see the word of God in this way? If you do see the word of God in this way, that is a sign that the revelation that God has been pouring out unto all the ends of the earth is something that is sticking with you, something that you are acknowledging and that you are walking in the truth of. So that is how you know that you are experiencing the glory of God, is that you are starting to see things the way God sees them. The way Paul says this is, as we behold the glory of God, we are changed and transformed from one degree of glory to another. So as we behold, we become. And that is exactly what we see here in these first 10 verses. Now, there is a bit of what's the word I'm looking for? Where he's going to, man, the word is totally slipping from my mind right now. He's going to regroup in a sense. That's not the word I was looking for, but that'll work. He's going to regroup, and he's going to reaffirm, and he's going to continue in the ways that he's lived. And or he's going to start living in this way. Maybe he read this list. Maybe you've read this list, and you go, well, I don't really see those things in that way. Well, here's what you need to do, and here's what he's going to do. Verse 11, moreover, by them is your servant warned. In keeping them there is great reward. Who can discern his errors? Declare me innocent from hidden faults. Keep back your servant also from presumptuous sins. Let them not have dominion over me. Then I shall be blameless and innocent of the great transgressions. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer. What is he doing here? What he's doing here is he is going to completely put himself into the hands of God, right? He's going to accept that there's great reward in there, and then he's going to ask God to affirm him. He's going to ask God to search him, ask God to look through the things that he's thinking about, the thoughts that he has, the words and the meditations of his heart, and he's going to say, God, change those things about me. He's not going to try to change himself. He's going to try to have God, he's going to ask God to help him change, to become more like what he sees in verses 7 through 10. And what we see here is the dependence and the faith and the reliance that comes when someone is walking with the full view of the glory of God in front of their face. So that is the structure of the psalm. That is what we need to challenge ourselves in doing, is understand that God has revealed his knowledge. He's not hidden from us. What does that look like when we are being exposed to it? Well, this looks like verses 7 through 10. And then if we don't see that quite as much as we'd like to, or if we haven't seen that at all, we need to call out to God. We need to rely upon him to bring those things, to search our mind, search our words, search the thoughts that we're having, and make them acceptable to the Lord, and not try to conform ourselves to that, but rest in God and trust that he will conform us to his standards. And of course, that will be a lifelong process, one that will take until the moment he comes back, or the moment we see him after we've passed to bring to completion. So patience is good, but also assurance and knowledge that it will certainly come to pass. So I pray that these words have been helpful. I see I'm getting a little bit made fun of in the feed for getting old. It is true. I am getting older. But I'm happy to offer my insufficient words, even the ones I forget sometimes. And hopefully, God will help us and will give us wisdom into these Psalms. But praying for you guys. So happy to be doing this with you, and very, very happy to be looking at these Psalms with you. It is a joy of mine to be looking through these wonderful texts. So hope you guys have a good rest of the week. I'll see you on Friday. Pastor Ben will be going tomorrow, and Pastor Lovelady will be going on Thursday. But looking forward to continuing all of these devotionals with you. Hope you're all doing well. If anything comes up or for prayer, I believe just be praying for Jim Dietrich. I think Sherry posted a comment in the feed about Jim. He's going into surgery today, I believe. So just be praying for him. But if anything else comes up for prayer or anything comes up as a need, just do not feel, sorry, Barry Johnson's comment is distracting me. Do not hesitate to reach out. We want to be here for all of you, and we love all of you. Looking forward to seeing all of you again. So Barry, I still can't think of the word. So I'm gonna give up trying to think of that word. So, but I think maybe that's something that you've had trouble with too, Barry, if I may say so myself. So, but love all of you. Looking forward to seeing all of you again. Hope you guys have a good rest of the week.